Welcome to the Nerd Party.
It's not working.
Well, how long since you've cleaned the heads?
The what?
The heads. Do you have any alcohol?
To drink?
What? No, to clean it. Check the tracking.
The rental place closes in 2 hours.
Shut up. It's working.
Time for a retro perspective.
Hello and welcome to Retro Perspective, the show on the Nerd Party, where we take a look at all of the movies released 25 years ago this week. I'm Mike.
I'm John.
And today we're going to be finishing up 1994 by looking at the movies released between December 16th and December 28th.
We may be finished with 1994, but is 1994 finished with us?
Not quite yet. So, okay, let's just get started with December 16th.
Yeah.
Which would have been, I guess, that would have been a Friday, right? Because... Yeah, that would have been a Friday. So there were 4 movies released on December 16th. The first was To Live. And even though I watched all these trailers, I can't remember what To Live is about. Oh, it's a... okay. Yes. It's set in it's set in China from 1940 to 1970 or something like that.
Yeah, big epic family story sort of thing. Yeah.
Right, and it's Zhang Yimou who directed it. He's the guy who did Hero and House of Flying Daggers and Raise the Red Lantern. Mm-hmm. So it looks cool, but probably not the easiest movie to find. And there were some other movies released this week, which I felt needed my attention at least.
Yeah, I think with To Live, I think I looked for it and I either came up empty with like just one of those bootleg YouTube things, or I don't think I was able to find it on a service, or it was something where like you had to subscribe to something.
Right. And, you know, it was obviously a small release. Like there isn't even any info on Box Office Mojo. Yeah. But, I mean, it was the highest rated movie of the week with 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
I would have been interested to see it, honestly.
Yeah. I think it, in hindsight, especially, I think it was the way to go. So, but next up, number 15 at the box office with $0.2 million and 55% on Rotten Tomatoes, Immortal Beloved.
Yep.
Have you seen this?
I saw it on video back in the day, as the kids say, and I rewatched it for this. Have you seen Immortal Beloved?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
So this is Gary Oldman as Beethoven.
Correct. Gary Oldman, post Dracula, in a thing where he gets to do a funky accent and play a crazy guy. It's Beethoven when he died. I have no idea about how historically accurate this is, but it insists to be. In his final will and testament, or his final letter or whatever, said he left everything to his immortal beloved. And so his attendant, secretary, whatever, he goes around trying to figure out who the immortal beloved is. All-star cast. Gary Oldman is Beethoven. That guy you recognize is that one dude, and that other guy is the dude. And then Isabella Rossellini is one of Beethoven's loves, and stuff like that. And you find out, essentially what is, pretty much accurate, I guess. I don't know, because I'm not a Beethoven scholar, but like Beethoven was something of a jackass, and had a particularly spiteful relationship with his brother, according to the movie. And do you want me to spoil it for you? It's been 25 years.
Sure.
His immortal beloved was his brother's wife, with whom Ludwig was in love with first.
I was going to assume it was his sled, but Yeah,
whatever. No. This movie does not hold up. I remember liking it a bit more back then. I was younger. We were all younger. We were all a little more foolish. This is really a lot. It feels a lot like a movie that wants to be Milos Forman's Amadeus, which is a stone cold classic of all time. And instead brings in some of the sensibilities of Oliver Stone's The Doors, which I sniff out and instantly am reviled by because, that's not the way to go, man. It's not the way to go. So it's okay. It's okay. Right. It's not terrible. It's okay.
All right. Well, number 3 this week, coming in at number 5 at the box office with $5.8 million and 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, is Speechless. Now, this is a romantic comedy starring Michael Keaton and Gina Davis about a couple of speech writers for candidates on the campaign trail or something along those lines. And but they're on opposite sides, but they have an affair and blah, blah, blah. The trailer looked intriguing to me. It seemed like my type of movie, but the 11% kind of scared me away. It is from the director of Tremors, though, so, it's got that going for it.
The 11% scared me away as well. But this is, 1994. Michael Keaton's trying to recapture his, trying to be something different than Batman, basically.
Yeah. And
recapture his comic roots. But.
So number 1 at the box office.
Yes.
With $25.1 million and 67% positive on Rotten Tomatoes is a movie which I had never seen, rather intentionally, but decided that now was the time. Dumb and Dumber.
Yep.
Have you seen this movie?
I didn't need to rewatch it, Mike, because I've seen this movie an awful lot.
I know. Yes. And what do you think?
I laughed my ass off when I watched this movie. Yeah. Oh, I know. You with your tea and crumpets set, you consider this lowbrow humor. But some of us, we like the lowbrow humor of Dumb and Dumber. Some of us like the lowbrow humor of Kevin Smith. We're all in our own lane here. Lane here.
Lowbrow, I don't have a problem with. Like I said, we were just talking about Jay and Silent Bob reboot. I think it's one of the best movies of the year, even though I don't count it because it's not Oscar eligible. Comes out on video January 21st. Check it out. But this, I just don't understand what's funny about it. I don't.
But I want to break this down.
Okay.
What is inaccessible about the humor? It's old school slapstick, and it's two idiots, and they're just put in these situations, and you get to laugh at it's laughter of the strong man. You get to laugh at these guys who are just complete bumbling fools who just stumble their way through an adventure. It's like Laurel and Hardy type of thing, but just for, modern day.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me at all. I did not find anything about this funny.
Not even the scene when he's sitting in the bar and he's walking out and he sees the framed newspaper clipping from 1969 about man walking on the moon, and he stops and goes, "We landed on the moon? Awesome!" That type of thing doesn't even make you laugh. The X-Lax scene
how is that a joke? It's like
he's just dumb. It's just an idiotic thing. What about at the end? Okay, it's been 25 years, so here's a spoiler for you. But at the end, when they're having the big showdown with the villain, and it's over a briefcase full of money, and they've spent all of the money, and he opens it up, and it's all full of IOUs. And it's like, oh, this is an IOU for a Lamborghini. You're gonna want to hold on to that one, right? Like these guys have this big adventure, and they spend the reward money that's at the center of everything. And I think that type of thing is just hysterically funny. I just think is everything in it great? No, but a lot of it is terrifically funny. It's just, childlike humor. It's a lot of fun.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know. I mean, like when I was started working at the theater back in high school or college, I guess this would have been like 5 years after this movie came out. The manager and someone else who worked there, they loved this movie, and they would constantly quote the Mockingbird scene.
Yeah.
And they would just crack up like this was the funniest thing. And I'm like, I guess I don't get it because I didn't see the movie. You know, maybe I just need to see the movie. But now I've seen the movie. And
Not even when the cop comes up, he's like, "Pull over." No, it's a cardigan, but thanks. Not even that makes you chuckle.
No.
Or when they're leaving and that guy over there said he was going to pay for it. Really? He said he was going to pay for it? Yeah, right over there. And the guy thinks, nothing? You didn't even chuckle once during this movie?
I'm trying to think of a time where I might have chuckled.
Not even the tuxedos they walk in with. They don't even make you laugh. Or when they're competing to get there first, and he runs up behind him with a cane and like hits the back of his legs and knocks him down. Not even, come on, man. Not even that makes you chuckle. Not even a little bit.
There was nothing in there where I was like, that's amusing. Like I can't think of a single thing, to be honest.
But see, the thing is, I feel like this is a learning experience because you see this imbalance here. This is what happens when you and I have a discussion about certain, Kevin Smith or something like that, where you're just sitting there saying, I can't, what are you even talking about? You see how this can be, this is like we're building a dialogue here. We're understanding each other. I think this is a beautiful thing.
Okay. I mean, like more than anything, I just find it to be frustratingly awkward. The movie, I mean, not the conversation.
How is the movie frustratingly awkward, though?
Like for example, like when his tongue is stuck to the pole, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't find that to be funny. I'm just like, oh my God, that looks really painful. I feel really bad for this guy.
When you watched Home Alone, were you overly concerned about the burn of the top of the head that Joe Pesci went through? Or
it looked like it hurt, but I found it amusing. But then again, I was 10.
Okay.
So,
but see, here's a key: is there's a certain part of humor where you're allowed to let your defenses down and be that inner 10 or 12-year-old again and just laugh at the stupid stuff you laughed at back then. And this movie gives you permission to do that. Like you're not allowed to just chill out and laugh at these sorts of things when you're, out in adult society and everything like that. So you can sit down with this and it gives you permission to laugh about all the silly things that made you laugh before.
Okay. All right. I just kept on thinking about how I'm like, if you were watching this 25 years ago and someone was like, the director of this movie is going to team up with the writer of Dark. What was the name of that movie? How could I forget?
The Dark Knight? No,
the Nicolas Cage movie.
Oh yes. Oh geez. Now you drove it out of my brain. But yes. No. For some reason I'm saying Downfall. I'm like, no. That's that Hitler movie.
That's it,
Downfall
right?
was the Hitler movie that everybody makes a meme out of. Oh my gosh, you drove it completely out. But yes, the bad Nicolas Cage movie that we watched, the next level awful,
arguably the worst movie of the year. Although honestly, it was much more watchable than Dumb and Dumber. But
please.
The idea that these two guys from who made these two movies in 1994, 25 years later would team up to make Deadfall is the name of it.
Yeah, Deadfall.
They would team up to make the movie which won Best Picture at the Oscars 25 years later.
It's a weird world, man. That's why Tom Hooper shouldn't give up after Cats.
I keep on thinking, like, what's the equivalent today? And it probably is Cats and, I don't know,
The Rise of
Good
Skywalker.
Boys.
Oh, what?
What?
Huh?
Good Boys?
I haven't seen Good Boys. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, the director of Good Boys going on.
Yeah, with the writer of Cats, and together 25 years from now but the writer of Cats has already won an Oscar, so
terrifying, isn't it?
It is
Wait a
what
minute,
it
how can
is.
the writer of Cats have won an Oscar considering Cats is just an adaptation of a stage play that doesn't have a plot? No. I mean, like, how can there be a different writer than just film version of play, right? Like,
It's like Hamlet with Kenneth Branagh, you know.
yeah.
It counts, even though it's like if you change 20%. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
You got to count like the scene where like Ian McKellen walks by a doorway and then just like rubs his face on the doorway.
Oh, so like if
keeps
you write an
unlocking.
extra screen direction, like
I think I think it depends. I don't know. The rules are weird. Yeah.
they do seem to be. I still don't understand the soundtrack rules, or the original score rules, considering. Williams keeps getting put in for the Star Wars sequels, and I'm like, but as I understand it, but I still don't understand how Godfather Part 2 like got nominated for Best Score. I'm like, but wait, it's really just an expanded version of Rhoda's. Whatever. Who cares? I can't control it. Dumb and Dumber is funny. That's the moral of the story.
Okay. All right. So that's 1 week down.
Yes.
Let's move on to the week of December 23rd, which there were actually some movies which came out a couple days prior to that. On Wednesday, December 21st, there were 2 movies which were released. First one, number 15 at the box office with $2.7 million and 10% positive on Rotten Tomatoes, Mixed Nuts.
That 10% is generous.
See, that's interesting because like it feels like this has kind of a cult following. Like I've seen this when I was like looking for Christmas movies this year. This came up on a number of lists of like the best Christmas movies, and Nora Ephron directing and Steve Martin in it. It's like, I mean, the trailer, I'm not going to say that it looked good, but it didn't look epically bad.
Did you watch it? Have you seen it?
No. I
See, I did. Because it was free on Vudu, which is Walmart's streaming service. You can actually watch movies for free with ads, much the way you can with Tubi or Crackle or anything like. Oh, isn't Crackle ad? Whatever. I can't ever get Crackle to work, but yeah. So I was like, oh, free with ads. That's my price point. Sure. Wow, finishing it was an endurance test.
Yeah,
it's aggressively unfunny. It's not just not funny. It finds comedy, chokes it, lets it get some air, jumps on its stomach, and then just as comedy is starting to pick itself up and walk away, shoots it in the back and cuts off its head. This movie is so not funny as to be a miracle. I think of Steve Martin when he's flipping out on John Candy in the hotel room in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And it's like, it should be funny or interesting. Your stories are amazing. They have none of that. This movie is just. I mean, it has Madeline Kahn, Steve Martin, Rob Reiner, Anthony LaPaglia, Juliette Lewis, Jon Stewart, back when he was a comedian and not apparently a political sage or whatever, back when he was just doing funny stuff. Other people in there as well, Rita Wilson. It's just terrible, though. Oh, and Liev Schreiber is in it, too.
Isn't Adam Sandler in it, too?
Yes, he sure is. Boy, is he ever.
Like, I saw the trailer for it, and that was another one where, like, just earlier that day, I watched Uncut Gems, which he could very well be nominated for Best Actor or whatever. And I'm like, wow. Just if you were to see this guy here in Mixed Nuts and be like, well, one day he's going to give a really strong dramatic performance, which is going to get him nominated for Best Actor.
Yeah, 1994. Really weird year, man. Really weird year. I mean, Adam Sandler is basically just doing one of his idiot characters from Saturday Night Live. Is all he's doing. It's not even any character as interesting as like Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore. So, yeah, I think Mixed Nuts is terrible. I gave it 0 stars. Do you know how rare it
Okay.
is for me to give a movie 0 stars, Mike?
I guess it's pretty rare.
I have a gag that I say where if I find out that, so long as nobody was accidentally killed on set, a movie deserves at least half a star. If I give it 0 stars, it means that I'm ambivalent as to whether that was a good thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oof. Terrible.
Okay. All right. Well, go see Uncut Gems because it's amazing. And
I want to. Very much I want to.
and the soundtrack, I mean, like the score,
Yeah.
like it sounds like an 80s Carpenter movie.
Oh, come on.
And they even use like Carpenter font for the credits.
Oh. Oh, what
Yes.
that serif font? That
I don't know what it is, but
well, but it was big in the 70s. It's the same one they resurrected for The Force Awakens and stuff. That
I'm
same?
not sure.
Okay.
I was just like, this is Carpenter font.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
Carpenter font. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. Anyway. Okay. So there's another movie that came out on December 21st, which got better reviews than Mixed Nuts, which I have to say surprised me a little bit. Coming in at number 7 at the box office with $10 million and 24% on Rotten Tomatoes. Richie Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Macaulay Culkin
Yeah.
beating up adults
Yeah.
continues.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, he plays Richie Rich, and he's rich, and he has no friends, but he finds friendship through beating up adults.
Yep.
Have you seen it?
Nope. Don't plan
Me
to.
either.
Not
Yeah,
a
me
chance.
either.
No.
All right. So Thursday, there was one movie which came out. It was number 26 at the box office with $58,000, but the best review. Well, no, it's not the best reviewed movie of the week, but a very well reviewed movie of the week with 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. A Man of No Importance, starring Albert Finney. Art house kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
Didn't really look too intriguing to me, I have to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. So Friday, there were 7 movies released.
Mm-hmm.
It's that time of year.
Yep.
Number 28 at the box office with $7,000 and a 54% positive on Rotten Tomatoes was Safe Passage.
Yeah.
This is a movie starring Susan Sarandon, and she's got a bunch of kids, and, you know, she's dealing with domestic life and all the rest of it. I have a feeling that this movie was released like this week to get Oscar qualification, and then it, came out later on. Didn't really look very good. See it?
You lost me at Susan Sarandon, basically.
Okay.
Not a fan of her work.
Yeah, I mean, she can be good, but, whatever.
I mean,
We'll see her again in a little bit here. Number 27 with $28,000 and an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes, Colonel Chabert. I believe Gerard Depardieu is in this.
already
I
did
wanna
a
say.
Depardieu movie earlier this year. My Father the
Yeah.
Hero, if you recall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maxed out on
Jim.
Depardieu.
Yeah, this didn't look too good.
Nah. Nope.
Okay. Number 25, the movie that I wanted to watch, but I couldn't find, with $0.1 million and an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes, Death and the Maiden.
Yep. Nope.
It stars Sigourney Weaver and, the Mandarin from Iron Man 3.
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley, yeah. The Mandarin, his most famous role.
Yes. Yes.
And it's a Roman Polanski movie. Looked kind of cool about like a guy brings home another guy who like helped him out or something like that, who's Ben Kingsley, and the guy's wife is like, oh, that's the dude who like kidnapped me or something, and they're like, wait, is that real? Are you crazy, or is it really the guy? One of those things.
Yeah.
Looked intriguing, but Not easy to find.
Impossible to find, yes.
Yeah. Number 24 at the box office with $0.2 million and 91% positive on Rotten Tomatoes. The best reviewed movie of this week. Nobody's Fool.
Which I very much wanted to see, and I believe is on Vudu. But I wound up going out of town and was unable to watch it, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. Did you get a chance to see it?
I did. It's on Prime as well.
Oh, excellent.
This is a movie. It was written and directed by Robert Benton.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those weird things because, like, forever people have been like, nobody's fool. It's great. Nobody's fool. And I was kind of like, at the time as a 14-year-old, I was like, old person movie. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll skip it.
Uh-huh.
But then a few years later, they released Twilight. Not that Twilight. The good Twilight.
Okay.
You wouldn't have liked it. Susan Sarandon's in it.
Oh.
But no, it's actually really good. It's like Gene Hackman and Susan Sarandon. Like Susan Sarandon's like a movie star or something like that, and she's married to Gene Hackman. And then Paul Newman is their like handyman guy who's also like friends with Gene Hackman, and it turns into like a murder mystery. And it's really well done. And like I saw that when it came out and was like, this is great, you know, but like Nobody's Fool was always sitting off to the side here, just waiting to be watched, you know?
Yeah.
And I never did. So I'm like, well, now's my chance. So I watched it and it's fine. It's not 91% good, you know, but I mean, it's good, but it's very kind of cliche, you know, it's about like, old guy who's always been sort of, you know, the type of guy who plays by his own rules and won't settle down and is a terrible dad and a terrible husband. Now he's 60 years old and he sees the error in his ways and he starts to turn around his life, and now he's going to help out the people who he, you know, whatever, threw out, whatever. And it's like, whatever, it's sweet, it's whatever, it's fine. But it's not anything like that you have to rush out and see. It's not going to change your life. It's the same movie you've seen a million times before.
Do you think that the reaction to it was aided by the fact that Paul Newman was, you know, the train was slowing down? You know, do you think that, because I don't think that it's a controversial theory to say that sometimes these movies are embraced because the esteemed actor may not have too many more movies left in them. And
I mean,
so,
that could be. Did you see the trailer for this?
Yeah.
I mean, the trailer was like, for over 40 years, Paul Newman has entertained us with his amazing roles in things like The Hustler and Cool Hand Luke and The Verdict. And now he is back as an old guy in one of his best performances ever. And it's like, okay, like he got nominated for this, you know? So that's what they were playing on. For sure.
I hope to see it. I'm probably going to double back and see this because I'm interested in it. Just because it. And the thing is, this is one of those movies where, like you said, it's been always sitting there in the back of my mind. Like, I can't believe I didn't get around to this. That I watched Mixed Nuts instead of this. I feel like an idiot.
Well, it was a different week, so it wasn't. Yeah, you're right. You made a mistake.
Yes, I made a tremendous mistake. Trust me.
All right. Well, number 23 at the box office. You can tell like all these were released like to get, you know, the Oscar, but there was like really small releases. Yeah. Number 23 at the box office with $0.2 million and 58% positive on Rotten Tomatoes. Legends of the Fall.
Ugh.
Did you watch this?
Oh, no, I didn't rewatch it because I watched it many years ago. My girlfriend at the time, Erin, big fan of the movie. Big fan. She's like, oh, you got to, you know, the relationship's getting going. It's like, oh, no, this is one of my favorite movies. You got to watch it. You got to watch it. Okay, let's watch it. And I didn't care for it one damn bit.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No. It's one of those where, you know, like I watched the trailer and whatever, and I'm like, this looks really bad. this does not seem like my type of movie at all. I remember when it came out, like you'd go into, like Suncoast Video or whatever it was.
Suncoast, yes. It wasn't Suncoast Video. It was Suncoast Motion Picture Company, Mike.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. And, like they'd have like all the memorabilia and they'd have like the movie poster rack. And I still like vividly remember like that picture of it's like, it's just Brad Pitt, like with his shirt open, just like sitting there. And I remember that being a very popular poster at the time. And, like all of this stuff is just like, I don't want to watch this movie. I mean, but at the same time, I'm like, well, Ed Zwick has made some good stuff, Courage Under Fire, for example. But has any of it been good enough to justify watching Legends of the Fall?
Nope.
Probably not.
It hasn't.
No.
It's one of those things where I remember keeping my reaction in check. You got to read the room. You got to know when to keep it in check. And then just like when you hang out with your buddies later, you're like, all right, fine. I got to get this off my chest. It's not, I didn't care. Listen, for me to remember how much I disliked it 25 years, let's say I saw it 20 years ago or whatever. This is 2 decades and I haven't rewatched it, but I could recount certain scenes to you because they're burned in my brain because I didn't like it that much. So. Yeah.
No, the thing when Pan's Labyrinth came out, a guy who worked with me and Max as a projectionist, like he came into the theater and he's like, Max and I went to see Pan's Labyrinth with our girlfriends. And I'm like, oh yeah, how was it? And he's like, oh, it was amazing. Everybody loved it. And I'm like, Max liked it. And he's like, oh yeah, Max, he loved it. And then like a day later I saw Max and I'm like, so I heard you like Pan's Labyrinth. And he's like, no, I didn't. And I'm like, well, what happened? Daniel said you loved it. And he's like, it's amazing what people assume when you don't say anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very true. Very true. I still, I always love recounting how much I hated The English Patient, but one of my favorite memories of that was my friend Joey, who I've mentioned many times. We saw it with my buddy Mike, who was with his girlfriend Annie. Joey and I, dateless wonders. We were each other's dates all the time.
Yeah.
And we hated it so much. And I've known Mike for more than half my life at this point, and I knew him well enough by that point. I could see it in his eyes, and she loved it, and I could see in his eyes. It was that, please don't engage me on this. Don't do this. Draw the fight. And Annie hated me. She absolutely hated me, which is fair because I didn't care for her too much. But man, oh, man alive, she was like, oh, that was so wonderful. And it was like, Mike knew to get out of the way. Like that was probably one of the reasons Annie hated me was I was one of the few people that Mike wouldn't stand in the way of the blast sort of thing. Where I was like, oh, you loved it, huh? And it was just one of those, and Mike was there. It was like, oh, it was fine. It was fine. It was good. It was good. I was like, oh, I know what you're doing right now. So yeah, I love that. I love that memory.
That being said, English Patient is a good movie.
No,
so,
it isn't. No.
I'm such a nerd. Like I needed to go like shoot photos downtown for my photography class, at school. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to take photos downtown. This is not. So I went downtown to shoot photos. And then as an underage kid, I snuck in to see The English Patient. I don't know. It's just one of those things that you do, I guess, when you're 16 years old. And
see, I know you haven't watched a lot of The Simpsons, but this reminds me of two different things in The Simpsons where they're trying to get Bart to go. It's like, come on, Bart, we're gonna go see Barton Fink. It's like all these kids going up, Barton Fink. And then there's another one where they sneak out to the movies and they go to see Naked Lunch and they walk out and Nelson looks up at the marquee and he goes, I can think of 2 things wrong with that title. So
yep.
Yeah.
Oh well. All right. Number 21 at the box office with $6.5 million and a 55% positive rating. Nell.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the posters for this forever, but I honestly had no idea what it was about until I watched the trailer.
Yeah.
And, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, okay. Did you see this movie?
No, God, no. No.
It's like Jodie Foster is like a woman who's like living in the wilderness, completely isolated from all of humanity. And then she's discovered by some people, and one's a scientist and one's I don't know, what is he, like a priest or something? Like, I don't know. It's like two, whatever. It's like one is thinking like, and on opposite sides of the spectrum or whatever it is. And now they have to decide, what are they going to do? How do they introduce her back into, the world?
Yep.
And how, and I believe, just based on the trailer, that the moral of the story is that she's going to teach them more than they're going to teach her.
Sure seems to be the moral, doesn't it, Mike? Sure does.
It's like one of those things where it's like, oh, this movie does not look good at all. But at the same time, it's directed by Michael Apted. He's pretty solid. He did The World Is Not Enough. He did the Up series. There's a new one out now, 63 Up.
Yeah. Yeah. Liam Neeson's in it. Sure.
He did Enough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And the trailer is great because they're like 2-time Academy Award winner Jodie Foster, Liam Neeson, who is in Schindler's List.
Yep.
Like they literally say that, like, the star of Schindler's List.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, you don't know who this guy is, but he was in that movie that you loved last year. He wasn't good enough to get nominated for anything, but he was in that movie, which everybody loved.
Yep.
So you'll love this movie because he's in this one too.
If you really think about it, and this is going to play into a movie that's still on the roster before the year of 1994 runs out, it's kind of like The Jungle Book in a sense, but with Jodie Foster.
Right. You're right. It is.
Yep.
Not a big fan of The Jungle Book either, but
spoilers. Okay. There you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So neither of us watched that. But there is one more movie which came out this week. Number 4 at the box office with $14.1 million and an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. Still better than Mixed Nuts. Street Fighter.
Yep.
Did you watch this?
Many years ago. This is Raul Julia's final screen appearance, is it not?
Oh, it might be, right? Addams Family. No more Addams Families after this?
No, I'm pretty sure this was his final appearance.
Yeah.
Which, goes down in history along with, what was Orson Welles' final screen credit?
The Transformers, the movie.
Correct. So you never know where you're going to end up. You never know when's going to be the last one. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is his last one. It's not a good movie.
Yeah.
No.
From the writer of Die Hard, though. So
go figure.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to keep the lights on.
I watched the trailer and it looks cool. I was intrigued. I like the music which is used. But I went with Nobody's Fool, and I don't regret that necessarily.
I don't think you should. No.
Okay. So one more week.
Yes. One more.
And there were 4 which were released on December 25th, and then the one on December 28th. So starting with the December 25th movies, number 12 at the box office with $3.6 million and 24% on Rotten Tomatoes, Pret-a-Porter.
Yep.
Ready to Wear.
Yep.
Robert Altman. Doing his Robert Altman thing with the fashion scene in Paris during Fashion Week. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't. It wasn't particularly interesting to me, but I do remember the hit song, Here Comes the Hot Stepper, from the soundtrack for this.
I don't remember that song.
Yeah.
And I just watched the movie. But no, I remember when it came out, like I remember when it came out, I think, well, because like my local theater played it because they'd always play the artsy stuff. Yeah. But also I was taking French as a freshman in high school. Oh. And I remember my French teacher was like, Pret a porter. Oh, if you go see it, bring in your ticket stub and you'll get extra credit or whatever, you know? And I'm like, why would I want to see this movie? And then, you know, like 6 months later, I saw The Player and I'm like, oh, that's why I'd want to see this movie, because Robert Altman is a genius, you know? And, you know, this is very much kind of like the play, no, more like Nashville for the, you know, fashion scene, not really The Player so much. Although you could say that it takes place in Player continuity because there's two people who are playing the same characters that they played in The Player. Harry Belafonte played Harry Belafonte in both movies, and Cher played Cher in both movies.
Stretch. That was a stretch for her to do that.
I'm going to say it works. So, yeah. I watched this movie back in college when I watched every single Altman movie I could get my hands on. And I hadn't seen it since, but I liked it a lot back then. So I was like really looking forward to this. Like the whole year I was like, and I'm going to end with Pret a porter, and that's going to be great. And I watched it this time and I'm like, like, I mean, it was refreshing to see Altman's stuff, but at the same time, like, well, maybe the movie doesn't work that tremendously well, you know? I think maybe it doesn't work that tremendously well. So what is really interesting though, and which I think you get a lot with Altman movies, is like the trailer trying to convince the audience that this is like a normal movie. Yeah. Right? Like Julia Roberts and Tim Robbins star as two reporters who are trying to get down to the bottom of this murder mystery set against the background of this Parisian fashion week. And who did it? It's one of the most fascinating murder stories you'll see all year. And Tim Robbins and Julia Roberts will figure out who did it, you know? And then you watch the movie and it's like a guy meets another guy in a cab and he's eating a sandwich and he chokes on the sandwich. And the guy sitting next to him is like, uh-oh, people are going to think that I killed him. So he runs away and people are like, stop that guy. He just killed that other guy. And then Julia Roberts and Tim Robbins are playing two reporters whose newspapers are like, you have to report on this story. And they're like, oh, we don't wanna. And then like they accidentally, through some sort of circumstance or whatever, end up in the same hotel room, you know, and they don't want to give it up. So they literally do not leave their hotel room. And the whole time is about how they are terrible reporters who don't care about this guy or who murdered him. And they're just going to stay in their hotel room and like drinking, sleeping with each other and watching the news and stealing all of their stories for their news outlets from like French TV. And that's just like something which is happening off to the side while all of this other stuff is happening. And then at the end of the movie, like the coroner's like, he choked on a sandwich. Nobody killed him. And they're like, oh, okay.
Thrilling. It definitely sounds actually like the marketing team for any Altman movie. It was like a hazing ritual, probably. I was like, give it a Bill. He just started. Let's see
if you
what
can
he
figure
do.
out what the plot is.
Yeah.
And the fact that the only two people in this whole thing that are who are like known actors are these two, and they happen to be together. Figure out how to make them the main characters. Yeah. Whatever. It's fine. It's got a lot of good stuff in it, but on the whole, it's a mess. It's not, there's a lot of other Altman movies which have the same thing going on, but it's got like a cohesive center, and this doesn't really have that. Yeah. So, yeah. But you could do worse. Anyway, number 8 at the box office with $7.6 million and a 44% on Rotten Tomatoes, IQ, another Tim Robbins movie.
Yep, I did see it too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think?
There have been a lot of Tim Robbins movies.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Jeez. No, I mean, I didn't rewatch it for this week, but I saw it years ago. It's, it's harmless. It's cute. It's a romantic comedy, and it's, got a cute enough premise where it's like, these 4 geniuses are helping a simple guy win at the heart of a woman. It's sort of like just Cyrano times 4 sort of thing.
And what, Albert Einstein's in it, right?
Yeah. Walter Matthau plays Einstein.
Yeah.
It's cute. It's harmless. It's a romantic comedy.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks cute.
Yeah.
Number 5. This movie is very interesting. Number 5 with $11 million and 92% positive on Rotten Tomatoes. 25 years to the day prior to the remake being released. Little Women.
Yes.
Did you see this?
Nope. I did not.
Okay. I saw this a few years back, but then just a couple of days ago, I watched the remake, and then I watched the trailer for this one, and that was a really interesting thing, because it's like, okay, I just saw this new version, which is very good, by the way, and now here's the sort of like 90s, much more typical period piece version of that movie. And like you see like the same scenes like playing out in almost the exact same way, but like through this different lens of, like instead of it being sort of a, millennial hipster kind of view, it's like a romantic, I don't know, costume drama view, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, this version is not nearly as good as the new one, like not by a long shot, but it's still not bad. It's just nothing special, really.
Yeah, it never struck me as anything special. That's why I never really bothered with it. It was always just sort of...
I mean, it was interesting because like I went to see the new one with my wife, and she had never read the book and had never seen any other version of the thing. And she's like, well, it's not really like the story, is pretty standard. But there's like a lot of, it does kind of like bend things in ways that you wouldn't necessarily expect. And the new one, like, I can't remember if the original did this or not, but I'm pretty sure it didn't. But the new one uses this like flashback structure, which is really interesting, very English patient-y actually. But that really makes it work very well. And there's like this whole like meta narrative going on with the new one too, which really sort of drives the point of the story home in a pretty strong way. And all of that is not really clicking in this version.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still decent. Yeah. It's just the new one's a lot better. Watch the new one instead. That's all. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right. Okay. Deal.
Yeah. Okay. Number 4 at the box office with 11.9 million and 79% positive on Rotten Tomatoes. The Jungle Book. Oh boy.
Yeah.
This one from the director of The Mummy.
And Van Helsing.
Yeah, which is better than The Mummy, by the way.
That is... Okay, I haven't seen The Mummy, but if that's true, I'll never watch The Mummy.
You've seen Van Helsing, but you haven't seen The Mummy?
I saw Van Helsing in the movie theater.
Me too.
And I also saw G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra in the movie theater.
That was bad.
Van Helsing was also bad.
I don't like G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra was bad.
Yes.
But I remember while watching it thinking like, this is a really bad movie. But the photography and editing remind me a lot of Return of the Jedi. I don't remember why I thought that. I don't remember if that was accurate, but it's bad.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. There's nothing about G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra that reminds anybody of Return of the Jedi, or should.
What was the name of the second one? G.I. Joe.
Oh, who cares?
Uprising.
It was Retaliation or something like
Retaliation.
that.
That's a good one.
I forget why I didn't finish it. It was, but like I remember being surprisingly, like I flipped it on one time. And I was like, oh, this is surprisingly, and then something happened with a kid, and I just never got back to it. But yeah, like I was surprisingly engaged in the first little bit that I watched of it. So I've always intended to go back. But man, Rise of Cobra was terrible. Van Helsing also terrible, also very terrible.
I like Van Helsing. I mean, Mummy is fine too. Whatever.
I want to see the Mummy. The Mummy ride at Universal Studios Florida is excellent. It's a terrific ride. It's a lot of fun. It's an indoor coaster, but it's really well done. And and I've never seen. It's very it's actually it's pretty great because it's very meta because the storyline of the ride is that you're there while they're filming the movie The Mummy, and you find out that it's all real, and so you get trapped as mummy guy, whatever his name is trying to steal your soul, and that's your coaster thing. So it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of fire, a lot of strobe effects, a lot of indoor curves, and it's a fun ride.
Yeah. My favorite thing about The Mummy, like, because that movie was in like development hell for like years and years and years, and at one point they brought on John Sayles to write the script.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Okay, here's what I'm doing. I'm gonna set it in the modern day, and blah 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 blah." And they're like, "Okay, but we want it to be a period piece, like the original was." And he's the original wasn't a period piece. It was made in the 30s and it took place in the 30s. And they're like, yeah, we want it to take place in the 30s. Period piece, like the original. He's like, that's not a period piece. That was modern day.
Yeah.
Back in 1930.
Have you seen The Jungle Book? Directed by Stephen Sommers?
Oh, sorry. That's what we were talking about. Yeah. No, I have not. Have you?
Yeah. A friend of mine, Disney Plus. This is no.
Great.
Disney Plus is going full Orwell and ignoring this. It has everything else Jungle Book on it, but this doesn't make sense why. So I borrowed a copy from a friend.
It's a Disney movie?
Yep. Okay. This is just proof that this whole urge to remake your animated stuff, Disney to remake their animated stuff into live action predates Ice Heart's era. So, it's just that they were. This was supposed to be like a new updated adaptation. It's a Walt Disney Pictures movie. Jason Scott Lee, Cary Elwes, Sam Neill, John Cleese, some trained animals, some terrible blue screen and split screen, some awful CGI, and surprisingly, Lena, it's either Lena or Lynn. Lena Headey,
yeah.
Who played Mama in Dread and Cersei Lannister in Game of Thrones. And like I'm watching the movie, I'm like, where do I know this actress from? And like I'm racking my brain. I'm like, was she one of Padme's handmaidens or something? Like, wow, why do I know her? And so I looked up the IMDb and I was like, that's Mama. Oh my God. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You're like, whoa, yes, that's her. But the movie's bad. I struggled with finishing it. It's not good.
Yeah. Lena Headey's great though.
Yeah.
At least that's
terrific
something.
actress. Terrific actress.
She's in 300 and she's Sarah Connor in the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
No, but I forgot she was in 300. That's right. Yeah.
She's also in a movie called Gossip, which is good.
Never heard of it.
It's good. It's good. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. I'm not going to watch this movie.
Don't.
Sorry.
Don't. It's not particularly well directed. It's not well paced. This is definitely from the era where I think we've said this before. Like there was a time where like doing a live action Disney movie was almost like doing pro bono work for a lawyer. You was just expected this was going to be on your resume at some point. Yeah. And that's what this falls. It still blows my mind that Sam Neill is in this post Jurassic Park. It's like, well, dude, no, wrong move. But nobody thinks
get paid, right?
Nobody thinks it's going to be what it winds up being. And Jason Scott Lee's really trying. Yeah.
Hey, it got good reviews.
Ebert liked it.
Well, there you go.
Siskel didn't. So,
there you go. All right. The final movie of 1994. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
December 28th, coming in at number 25 at the box office with $0.1 million. And the best reviewed movie of the week at 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
The Madness of King George.
Yep.
Another movie which I remember coming out because I remember the poster hanging up outside of the theater forever.
Yeah.
With, King George running in his underwear through the court or something. And I remember my parents going to see this, which was something that never happened. And I never saw it. Did you see it?
I did watch it. Yes. Thanks to Voodoo. The Madness of King George is actually based on a play by famous British playwright Alan Bennett. The play was called The Madness of George III. I remember reading an article at the time saying that they changed the title because they were afraid that American audiences would think it was a sequel. Mm-hmm. And so it became The Madness of King George. It is okay. It's fine. It's the type of thing where I would expect to walk in and see my dad watching it on PBS, and I'd be like, well, "What's this?" It's like, "Oh, it's about King George. He went crazy." Okay. It's got, name a British actor that you expect to see in a period piece like this.
Helen Mirren's in it.
Yep, Helen Mirren's in it. Ian Holm's in it. Yeah. Seriously, the whole thing. Even the guy who went on to play the deep-voiced guy from Downton Abbey, he's in it as one of the people that wants. And it's just it's a who's who of British people and actors. Seriously, British film at times in the past was like, do you guys have any other actors working right now? Because I see these people in everything from this time period. We're like, cast somebody else for God's sake. But they're all playing villains in American movies or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's Nigel Hawthorne is George III. So, it's fine. It's and I'm not saying that in that dismissive way. It's a decent movie. But it's in no way something where I'm like, this is fantastic Oscar-worthy stuff. It's it's decent. It's interesting. It keeps you engaged through it. That's about it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, and ending the year on a somewhat higher note than what we began, probably. I have to say this about 1994 in retrospect, or retro perspective, if you will. There have been a lot of really bad movies in 1994. Yeah.
A lot.
That's it. I was but okay, no, that's it. There've been a lot of bad movies.
Yep.
A lot. Okay. Yeah. Well, I think that what we need to do is have one more wrap up episode where we give our top 10s.
Yeah.
Maybe discuss the biggest surprises or the biggest discoveries or whatever.
Yeah.
And just kind of do that whole thing.
Yes. Downfall will be discussed again, I'm sure.
So until then, John, where can people find you on the internet?
Look for Castle Junkie on your social network of choice. I'm very active on Letterboxd and Twitter. And you can find me right here on the network co-hosting a Star Wars podcast called Aggressive Negotiations with my friend and yours, Matthew Rushing. And we've been given a lot to talk about, with The Mandalorian and the Rise of Skywalker and all of these things and all of these deep philosophical things to dig into. So check out Aggressive Negotiations. But Mike, where can people find you?
Will you guys talk about my sweatshirt?
I will talk about your Ewok sweatshirt. Absolutely. I don't know if Matt has ever seen the Ewoks cartoon, though.
Oh, man.
I know. I consider that criminal.
Yeah. I mean, especially like the last episode or something like that, where they sneak onto the Death Star.
Yeah, well, and there's just
Paul Dini wrote some of it.
That theme song is all forever burned in my brain.
We are the
Ewoks. Yep. Yeah.
By Taj Mahal.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
man.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can find me on Twitter and Letterboxd at Mumbles3K, and you can also find me on filmdamagepod.com doing a show called Film Damage, and on Trek.fm doing a show called Tracks on the Line. And that's
hey,
pretty
talk
much
about
it.
Bayhem that you did for Talk Film Society.
Oh, yeah. Bayhem, which I think right now you can only get if you subscribe to Patreon. But boy, is it worth it. We did a retrospective where we looked at all of Michael Bay's movies, and we released them all at once when Six Underground came out. And boy, that was a crazy time, crazy series. And I think it turned out pretty well. I did it with Marcelo Pico and Diego Crespo over on talkfilmsociety.com. So check that out. Good times. Also check out Six Underground on Netflix because it's one of the best movies of the year.
I hope to check it out soon. And I know that eventually I will check out the Bayhem podcast because I can't pass up fun like that.
Especially take a listen to the Island episode. I think that one turned out really well.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's it for this week. But until next time, be kind, rewind.
Join the revolution. Join the Nerd Party.